They said New Orleans in 1833 was a place where secrets walked with the living, where whispers had weight, and where beauty could be as dangerous as a loaded pistol left on a table. The city breathed with a kind of ache. Spanish moss trembling over balconies, river fog crawling like a living thing, markets echoing with laughter that hid sorrow beneath it. And in the center of that city, in a world stitched together with music on one side and misery on the other, there lived a woman whose very existence became a puzzle the city never solved. Her name was spoken the way one might speak of a ghost that leaves footprints. Her face was remembered like the last line of a dream that still haunts you when the sun rises. Some claimed they saw her only once, yet never forgot her. Others swore her eyes weren't just beautiful, they were unsettling, as though she carried storms behind them, silent storms that warned certain men never to cross her shadow. And some old Creole families would lean close and whisper, not her name, but the question that followed her everywhere: what was the secret she carried? What was the hidden truth behind the most beautiful enslaved woman New Orleans had ever known? Because beauty alone wasn't the tale. Beauty had been seen before. Beauty in chains had been seen far too often. But beauty with power, beauty wrapped in mystery, beauty that held itself like a queen in a world determined to call her property, that was something the city didn't know what to do with. Her story didn't begin the way people told it. It didn't begin in the lavish salons where wealthy families paraded her like a delicate piece of artwork. It didn't begin in the rumors that swirled like smoke from the riverfront, rumors that said she had noble blood in her veins, or royal blood, or something otherworldly that made the air shift when she walked past. No, her story began somewhere quieter, somewhere the city tried to forget. Her story began in the small, dim backrooms where midwives whispered over newborns and could already see which children the world would fight to destroy and which ones the world would fight to own. And she was a child the world wanted to own. But she grew into a woman who refused to belong to it. Even as a girl, people remembered the way she observed everything. She watched like she was gathering each detail and locking it inside her mind, storing it for a future she couldn't yet name. She wasn't loud. She wasn't rebellious in the way people expected. Her defiance lived behind her quiet. And quiet is what made men nervous. It's what made women stare too long. It's what made overseers feel something they never admitted aloud: fear. Because there was something strange about her silence. It wasn't submission, it was strategy. And oh, New Orleans was slow to understand that. By 1833 she was already a legend in the French Quarter. Lantern lights seemed to cling to her skin. Musicians swore she moved with the rhythm of the river. Wealthy men argued over who she belonged to while quietly suspecting she belonged to no one at all. Some believed she was so beautiful she cursed the men who desired her. Others believed she was protected by someone powerful, someone unseen. A few, those who knew suffering, believed she was simply smart enough to survive in a world designed to swallow her whole. But then there were the old stories. Stories told by elders, by women who knew things scripture and science never taught. They said beauty like hers doesn't appear without purpose. They said when God plants someone in darkness with a light so bright the world can't help but notice, there is a reason. They said she carried not just beauty but a burden. And burdens like hers always hide secrets. A secret that grew heavier each year. A secret that would one day cost the city its peace. And if you paused long enough to listen to those old voices, voices that cracked like wood dried in the sun, you might hear them say that her secret didn't belong to New Orleans. Her secret was older than that, older than the ships, older than the chains, older than the year she was born. They said she carried a legacy passed down through women who had learned how to endure storms without drowning in them. But the city wanted to rewrite her. The city wanted to repaint her story, adjust her edges, claim her history as if it owned not just her body but her truth. And so the legend grew, twisted, reshaped, retold in parlors, whispered on porches, repeated in marketplaces by people who didn't know her at all. They said she had a benefactor in the shadows. They said she had a lover among the elite. They said she knew secrets of the governor. They said she had magic in her blood. But what they didn't say, what they never imagined, was that her greatest secret had nothing to do with wealth or power or curses or beauty. Her secret was something far more dangerous in 1833. Something the city wasn't ready to face. Her secret was a mind sharper than any blade. A memory that recorded everything. A purpose she never revealed. And a plan no one expected. And every time someone underestimated her, she let them. Every time someone thought beauty meant weakness, she smiled a quiet smile to herself. Every time they tried to shape her future, she simply waited for the moment she would claim it back. Because this woman, the most beautiful enslaved woman in New Orleans, wasn't born to be a footnote in someone else's history. She wasn't born to be a possession, a decoration, a rumor, or a trophy. She was born to break something. She was born to expose something. She was born to reveal something the city wanted buried. And the closer you look at her story, the more you realize this truth. Her beauty was never the danger. Her beauty was simply the distraction. The danger was in the secret she guarded, the secret she carried like a blade pressed against her palm. Some said the secret involved her lineage. Some said it involved a betrayal. Some said she knew something that could ruin families whose wealth was built on shadows. And some said that if one day her truth ever came to light, the city would shake. And maybe they were right. Because on a quiet night in the summer of 1833, something happened that changed everything. Something whispered from her past stepped into her present. Something long buried rose like a ghost resurfacing from the river. And the city woke the next morning sensing something had shifted, though they couldn't name what. And her secret, her bizarre, impossible, unbelievable secret, moved one step closer to being revealed. So today, when we revisit her story, we are not revisiting beauty. We are revisiting a warning. We are revisiting a woman who lived in a world built to break her, yet somehow she walked through it unbroken. We are revisiting a woman who understood the power of silence, the power of patience, the power of knowing who you truly are in a world determined to tell you otherwise. And if you listen close enough, you will hear that her story is not just about the past. It's about the present. It's about the chains people still carry. It's about the secrets people hide. It's about the image the world tries to shape for you and the truth God wrote inside you. For the city may have tried to silence her, but history has a way of amplifying the voices it once tried to bury. And her voice, her secret, her purpose, it still echoes. And now, the time has come to tell what New Orleans could never fully understand. The time has come to unveil the bizarre secret she carried, and the time has come to ask ourselves why people feared that secret so much. If you want, I can now create. Fire the full sermon. Fire a continuation of the story. Fire a dramatic reveal of the secret. Fire a 2033 modern parallel. Fire a sequel speech. Just tell me.